What could you do in a works car with works backup, you think, Frank?
Take it handy and win every rally around.
Bertie Fisher and Andrew Nesbitt have made the 1999 event a classic, as we have already said. Never has so much been provided for so many by so few.
The proudest time on the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett.
Welcome along to Krunching Gears, Season 2, Episode 5. In this episode, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome along Callum Devine and Josh McErlean, the two young talents in Irish rallying who quickly rise into the ranks. In this episode, we take a look back at their career and we look forward to the year ahead. When I spoke to the two guys, they were in Laguna Beach in America, getting ready for this weekend's Olympus Rally. It's a fascinating story. I started off by asking the two guys how they become involved in the sport.
Yeah, I actually started in America as well, and it didn't last too long. I think maybe in the third event we end upside down on a day. So yeah.
And Callum, I have visions of you putting a micro up on two wheels, but I don't think she went over. I think she came back down again, did she?
That's right. The famous red and pink micro. It wasn't just red; it was faded. That's right. It wasn't long after the start. Me and our young lad, we had a big single on big lorry tires, and she went up and she went up and she went up, and she just was about borderline, ready to roll, and she came down and popped the drive, which yeah, oh, I meant it well. That was the first big moment ever that I did. The heart was in the mouth, I'll tell you, back then.
And even at that early age, was the thoughts there to get into rallying, or was it to get sort of learn how to drive, basically?
I don't think so much. I think also my dad was rallying, as you know, back then and stuff, and but always been at the rallies and stuff. But what age were we? Well, I better say the right age. We're 13. Well, we're allowed to be there or something. So me and my brother Dylan, we were both brought down. I think it was more for a driving thing, just to learn us how to drive and a bit of car control whenever it came to that age.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there was much more thought after that. Okay. For Dylan, he kind of, it was just about that, just learning a bit of drive, and he never followed the rallying. But yeah, I think for me, I followed a lot of the passion into the rallying and the motorsport side of it, you know, and yeah, I kind of grew in me a wee bit more than him, so yeah, kind of escalated from that.
And at that early age, you mentioned your father there, like he was successful here in Ireland and all too. Like, did you follow him at events and one thing or another at that time?
Oh, I did. Any event I could get to. Well, it was trying to sneak down in a van of Morris and Maris, who used to be the service van before the week was out. Yeah, I was always looking to go to events. But yeah, it was great following it back then too. There was such a hype of rallying back then, as you know. And
yes,
yeah, I remember always like Donegal, all the crowds and everything, and that's class to be watching when you're young. And yeah, it just put fuel on the fire for me in later years to want to do it, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, for sure. And Josh, your early days then too, were you concentrating on trying to become a rally driver, or again was it the same as Callum there? Was it just getting roadcraft more than anything else?
Yeah, I suppose it was a bit of fun whenever you were young. Obviously, my dad, he brought me into it, and we built micro, put a roll cage in it, and head off to, I think it was Bishopscourt was the first one we done. It was actually Callum was was it the Subaru? Yes.
That was yeah.
I remember that there.
You started up there.
No, so it was just really to get into it and get. Obviously, it was around the rallies when I was younger, and it just escalated from there, and it took off. So we've been we've been following it ever since.
Yeah, and like you're the same as Callum there. Rallying was in the family as well, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, I think a weekend didn't go by that we weren't at a rally of some sort. Cousins and Daddy done the Northern Ireland Championship, so it was just right into me as such.
2011, Callum, you decided to do your first ever rally, and of all rallies to pick to do your first one was the Donegal Juniors.
Yeah, yeah, it was quite. It's kind of sort of your dream rally to start on, wasn't it? I suppose. The Donegal, watching it ever since I was no height. So yeah, I came about. It's quite late. I passed my tests in June or May. Sorry, May. And it's quite soon after I got my test, and then I kind of raced to get my rally test, and then we actually hired a wee car of Derek Jobs, a wee C2, we right-hand drive on, and yeah, it was great. It was great to do it, and I think the stages back then, I think mine were brown, and a showing direction, and other class stages to be going on the Sunday, but yeah, that was first time in a rally. Never really knew much. It was all a learning thing, but
yeah. And you came away with 5th overall that day as well too, didn't you? Like, so it definitely showed the talent was there from an early stage.
Yeah, like we had, I think we started at the very back of the field. What was the J23 or something? I can't mind what was at the door, but I think we caught like 2 or 3 cars in the first stage and kept going through it, and it was just kind of obviously the guys breaking down and catching them and stuff. But yeah, it was a great feeling, and there was a lot of quick guys in the juniors back then, I think. A lot of quick guys, and yeah, it was a good start to the rallying, I suppose.
And you kind of then stepped away from rallying again. Then it was 2013. You come back again, Donegal again that year, and you finished I think 4th or 5th that year again. But you'd set a few fastest times overall, so like that must have surely whetted your appetite then to take it a wee bit more seriously then.
Yeah, for sure. We took a bit of a break. We was playing football and stuff, and that was kind of only one with the other at the time. But when we went back to rally, we got our own C2 for this time, Donegal again. It was great, and we were just starting to get the hang of things back then. And yeah, that was probably the real starting point of the rallying then, 2013.
Because later that year, then you went on to Cork and you won the junior section of that rally, which only your probably 3rd or 4th rally at that time to won it.
Yeah, it was my 3rd or 4th rally. I think we did one other junior, maybe LMC. Maybe I could be wrong. But we went to Cork juniors, and first time also down there. Even watching, I was never down there watching, so it was the first time down. Yeah, we did that. The conditions were quite slippery and dry, and the whole driving thing. But yeah, we came away with a 1 then. It was, I think it was, it was quite good. And yeah, that we kind of sealed it then. We says there are no more juniors now. We kind of says, well, we'll move on up now into the big classes, as I say.
And you got the Fiesta then. You got the Fiesta then for 2014, and yeah, as you say, you done kind of like main field events. Plenty of seat time and plenty of good results as well. You took that transition quite well, immediately.
Yeah, the Fiesta was a great wee car. We actually bought it off Daniel McKenna. It was a car he won the BRC in. And we got that car, and it was such a great handling car. It was so much confidence the wee Fiesta give. Just to push on, a great handling for here in Irish roads. And yeah, we did plenty of events, and Donegal I think was a good learning, because obviously the 3 days was something we never did before, and we did good seat time and good learning, and yeah, the times are starting to improve all the time. So yeah, it was brilliant. That was a brilliant start to the Fiestas.
Yeah, and then 2015 again, you started with the Fiesta, but then moved into the Opel Adam. Like that was a brave move to take, because it wasn't really a proven car here. So
yeah. Well, yeah, the Adam, as I say, nobody really knew much about it. Obviously, when we started 2015, it was really sort of the 1 year we started committing to anything. We started the Time Championship to try and start and do the whole thing. So we did that, and it was the Circuit of Ireland. The ERC was over.
Oh, right, yes.
And then the Opel team was over, and I'm thinking, geez, look at these wee pocket rockets we were doing in the Fiesta. I think it was Dan, Niall, they must have been over nosing about it, sort of thing, and get got on chatting to them, and next thing you know, I think wasn't long after, was it May then? Was it then we went for the Tour Springs? We had we moved in Adam. Yeah, it proved to be probably the best car we ever had. And definitely a proper wee car.
Yes. And at this stage, Josh, you were just you were leaving behind Ahidu in these events, kind of the Old Track events, and moving on to the Junior 1000 rally. And what a way to start your first rally, the Turkey run, just after Christmas, and come away with the one.
Yeah, that was at the end of 2014. We went for the Turkey run, and it took off from there. We won the juniors, and followed up the next year. We go into the Irish Championship, done the full championship. And we won it as well. So in 2016 we went and done both the English and the Irish, and we had a real good run. We won both championships. So it was a good start to a rallying career. So
yeah, like in 2016, you done 12 junior rallies, and between Northern Ireland and the UK championships, and won 9 of them. Like that's fantastic. Yeah. That's a great way to start your rallying career, isn't it? So.
Yeah, it gave you a lot of confidence going forward. I think it was the Solway Coast Rally in 2016. It brought the whole English, the Irish, and the Scottish championships together. So there was maybe about 40 junior cars there, and to win that one was quite special. And it was more like a road rally than a track venue. So that gave us a lot of confidence, and obviously it's still a 1000cc car, but yeah, you have to drive them and try maximize them and not brake too much.
Yeah, and it's the guy behind the wheel that makes a difference, because the cars are all pretty similar performance-wise and all too.
Yeah, they're quite level. You can't do anything as such to them as suspension and brakes, and so everything's quite equal. It's definitely a good platform going forward, and it's good to see it in Irish forestry to young people to get the opportunity to go compete there. So it's definitely a good platform to start with and get into rallying.
Yeah, and like Callum, then like 2016, you were still in the Adam at that stage, and you went over to Belgium. You done Donegal. The week after that, then up ship on the way to Belgium to do Ypres. What was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, I think it was kind of. Where did it come from? I had met a guy, Alex Karani. He was an American guy. He actually sat with Stanley Valentine a few times here. And it's just like Sean Dutch. But anyway, we got chatting to him, and he kind of always encouraged to go over and do this rally. And kind of the way it worked out, because I'd always loved to try something else. Obviously, the European Championship was back then going to Belgium. And racing from it in Circuit Ireland. This is this would be an event that we could maybe try. It wasn't too far away. And we went over there, and it was an absolutely savage event. So it was from the town atmosphere to the stages to the crowds. It had it all, to be fair, and it still does.
Yes.
But it was a brilliant experience.
I remember who told me come in and give you all a talk, and they said, if you're going in and doing a cut and you thought you were on far enough, you had to go in further again or something, wasn't it?
It was funny, because that was another reason when we signed up. We signed up to the ERC Junior program. It was just for the event, and what they did was the week up to the rally, they give you like learning things. So you make your notes, and you go out and make a road on this wee bit of a road, make your notes, and then they come back and say, compared to what it should be. And Freddie Loix was there. It was Freddie Loix was of the specialist there, which was absolutely savage for us, only being youngsters. And then they actually brought in his engineer with Skoda at the time, and it was the amount of learning we did that before the event was second to none, especially for the first time there. It was brilliant, and I think it was a really good thing about the ERC then. It was. We learned so much in just in the space of a week, even going up to the event, even for our notes, and even doing the rally. It was brilliant experience.
Yeah, and you were very competitive that weekend as well. You were third or fourth, weren't you, sitting in time-wise with all these guys, the cream of European talent at that stage?
Yeah, it was. the 3 Opel works team. That was the 3 Opel guys at that time. So yeah, we were well above our expectations. I think it was. Yeah, they're all going hard, and they've obviously most of them actually was been to Belgium before, done it the year before, and yeah, we were doing our own thing, and yeah, we were enjoying it. I think we ended up on the last day. We kind of get sucked into one of them Belgian ditches, which unfortunately ended the rally. For us. That was the big deep ditches and a bit of dust, and it just got sucked in. And that was it. It's not one of them ones you could be pulled out too handy. I think it was a bobcat actually pulled us out of there. So yeah, but fair play to the spectators. I remember the spectators, as Josh would tell you, they were mad. Even just they could have lifted you out. They would have lifted you out, you know, sort of thing. They were just proper spectators. But yeah, that was a brilliant event. So yeah, in 2016.
And then, like, still at this stage, you hadn't sampled gravel. So later in the year, you took your first run on gravel. You hired an Evo for, was it the Bushwhacker?
Bushwhacker, aye. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was, what year was that, 2016? Yeah, we kind of released, obviously.
You were riding up the BRC at that stage, were you? Was it division?
Well, no, I think it was more, we were in nomination for Billy Coleman and stuff. Right. We kind of wanted to do it. We had no gravel experience, really. Right. It's always something we wanted to do, but we never really got around to it. But yeah. I remember that was a brave and late notice. We says the same thing, Derek Jobs. He says, have you a car for, I think it was maybe tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, we did that. That was coming from front wheel drive, jumping onto a 4-wheel drive, all that luxury and the gravel. It was fantastic. I loved it. I did love it. And the stages were class up there in the Bushwhacker and stuff. It was brilliant stages, to be fair. So yeah, that was brilliant. They let me run out that time. Yeah, it was a nice car, the Evo to be in. So,
yeah, so I think your appetite for more gravel then, really. So
yeah, it did.
So for 2017, then you hired a Fiesta to go do the BRC for the first few rounds, anyway. Yes. First round, 5th, but like for your first time, like at that level, and a car that you'd only hired to be in the top 5, and I think it was something like 40 seconds, something covered the top 5. It was a fantastic result. So, you know, it showed the potential was going to be there once you got the hang of this.
Yeah, we actually started the year. We had no gravel kit for the we had them at the time, and right. I think it really worked out. We worked with Hitch Motorsport. They were a lovely set of guys, and they kind of contacted us to go do the BRC in the car. Yeah, that's why we started in the Fiesta. But this is also a good car to be on gravel, and yeah, the first round. Yeah, it didn't go so. It wasn't too bad, I suppose. There's a lot of quick guys, and then, yeah, 5th or 4th, was it 5th? Maybe you're right. And then where did we go then after that? Was it Scottish?
After that, then it was Pirelli, wasn't it? Pirelli Rally, I think, was 2nd. But that,
yeah, I think the Pirelli we started to get the swing of things. So we did.
You were leading the rally going on to the last stage.
Yeah, we were leading the rally going on to the last stage, and funny, we were chatting about this other day. Josh actually was the boy sent me the photos of the tires at the end of the rally. There was the wires were coming out of the front. It was that warm of an event, and the tire wear was extreme, more than probably everyone expected, wasn't it? And yeah, we lost the rally to William by 0.4.
Yes.
I was just thinking, this is yeah. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad result. Obviously, from starting 5th in the first one and in there fighting at the front was more than asked. But obviously, when you're that close, it would have been nice. But yeah, that was the way that went.
Yeah, and then it was then on to Belgium, back to where you enjoyed it so much the previous year, and back into the Adam again then as well too. So
yes, we kind of we made the switch back to Adam obviously for Belgium, and yeah, it was. So we knew the car out there, and it was a proper tarmac car that we had. It was really, really good. And yeah, we had some issues with the Fiesta, so we switched it across, and yeah, it was brilliant. That was really we kick-started it again. I think we were racing Chris Ingram at the time out there, and as well he was doing it. And yeah, we came away with the one there and the BRC, and yeah, that was a proper event.
Your tail was up then for to go forward then for the championship, really, as such, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was quite good. It was. Well, that was Nicky Griffiths after that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what like 2-day rally, end of the first day, 7th overall, everybody kind of more or less writing you off. But you had the Opal on gravel then, but you got around to your favourite surface end tire for day 2, and boy did you go then.
I think it was maybe a wee bit of red mist came down in the morning, but yeah, I think we were 7th. We were actually behind everybody, weren't we? You were first, we were struggling. We never drove the car on gravel whatsoever before the first stage, and we realised then a lot of dust was coming on the car. And poor Keith, I remember it. Jesus, he was calling notes today with the covering his mouth. That much dust was in the car. Yeah, we struggled. We did struggle. We found ourselves right back, and yeah, we made the change over to tarmac the next morning, and I think at that stage it was maybe 40 seconds, something like that. But yeah, we says it wasn't going to be made up in the 3rd or 4th stage. I had to go from the word go. So yeah, and it's quite a tricky place to be starting to push on for the first time.
Yes.
With, so no ditches around the place. So
yeah, and no landmarks really either there, is there, as such?
No landmarks. It's a very strange place to be in. Very unique to its own self. So yeah, we had a bit of a push, and I think that's where we started to go up the cup. So maybe 3 stages, we're back in the lead, I think it was, or up the service, we found ourselves back. But yeah, that was, but the red mist came down. We says we need to get the finger out if there's any time to be in. But yeah, it was a brilliant event, and that was again, Adam kind of proved itself on tarmac. It was a proper week car.
And then you went on to the Ulster, which you thought would be a strong event for you. You thought, and it was what, alternator or something then that gave Buller and you had to retire.
I mind it well. It was the Ulster Rally was obviously, as you know, we kind of thought this would be the one that we should be fighting at the front and be at the front. So we were doing that, and I think we got a puncher in the first day or something. We lost a lot of seconds. William, and we still felt quite comfortable. We managed to pull the league back again. It was down to not that much going into probably our home stage, or not that far away from Ruski.
Yes.
And it was a big long stage, and I remember thinking, well, this is a good one. We'll have a good push on it. And I remember coming up the back of Ruski, and the car just started splittering, and the dash was going out, and I think this isn't good here. Whatever's going on here, and we coasted at the end of the stage, and that was it. The alternator wasn't packed in. And then the wee battery in behind the seats then we couldn't hack it. So that was it. I remember that was after that we actually thought the championship was over. It was kind of a bit distraught, a bit of temper after the whole sitting beside the ditch waiting for the lift home. But I think once we got back home and stuff, we realised then I think Isle of Man was double points for each day.
A day and a half or something, wasn't it?
A day and a half or something. So I think we kind of had a look at it and weigh it up. We had it one both days, and
and that was it. You just had to go for it in Isle of Man. It had to be flat out from the start, really, didn't it? So
flat out from the word go, and saying that too, back in 2007, the pace was fast, and we had a great battle with young Oscar Solberg, and we had William was fighting every rally to the teeth, and he was really going hard back then too. And probably bringing ourselves on, so Isle of Man, it was first time there. It was a big push, and that was it. It was just going to have to be flat out continuously. So it worked out well. So it worked out well for us.
I can remember the interviews at the end of the stage, even at the very last stage, you just still weren't 100% sure whether you had done enough. It was all kind of wait and see, and wait till Williams' time comes in just to be sure. And you didn't know whether to celebrate or not, as the case may be.
That's right, because there's that many guys who's kind of pushing. We need to get maximum points or wherever it worked, and there's that many guys who could have took it from you at the stage. You weren't just watching William; you were watching everybody. I was like, but it was a challenging year for a lot of things, but it was a brilliant way to end the season. It was great.
I suppose this is open to both of you. Is there nothing beats that there? Like everybody nipping each other for a second or two. Like, is it just great to be involved in them kind of battles? Would you rather be involved in that than leading an event by a minute or whatever?
Oh, I think that's what it's all about. You want to be doing the racing, racing as many guys as possible, because sure, that's what keeps you going, isn't it? And even if you did have some faults, you have battles down through the field the whole way through the rally. So yeah, it's no point going out in front there. It's because you're only really racing yourself and managing yourself, really. So no, that's what I'd like it. I'd like to be racing. Yeah, I'd like to be racing 20 to 1 anyway.
And Josh, same question to yourself. Do you enjoy being in that the battle for every 10th of a second, never mind every second, so?
Yeah, I suppose that's what makes the thrill out of the whole thing. Coming to the end of the stage and seeing you're within a second of someone and trying to go for it. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it keeps the adrenaline up and keeps you going.
Yeah, for sure. And then Callum, just coming back into yourself. So then at the end of that, then the end of the month, you claimed the Junior British Rally Championship. That got you a free entry into Rally GB, and everybody thought you'll take the Adam or whatever, but you went away and got a Fiesta R5. Like, talk about throwing yourself out at the deep end.
Yeah, that was throwing ourselves in at the deep end. I think that was another late move to do that there. But yeah, I think my dad and they had a car from was imported out of China. It was probably the old spec car. It was 2014, so it had the old engine and all the old first evolution of the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of looking at the event and he kind of says, okay, the Adam's going to be a bit too sore for doing the GBM, but yeah, I came about doing that in R5. Got my about talked around a bit. But that was absolutely brilliant, savage event. Right? The first WRC event, and that was another baptism of fire. I remember I never drove the car and gravel to the shakedown just before the event, and I remember saying to Keith, I remember laughing. This is Keith, how do you put this thing in launch mode? Because he sat with Waffets, and I remember it was we had some weekend of thrills, but yeah, we were there to learn from the word and go. We were really under the deep end completely.
Yes.
But yeah, we had some great times, to be honest, because all our guys had all the second evolution engine upgrades, and stuff. And,
yes.
Yeah, we started to get in the mix it. I think it was one of the night stages actually where Bill Milson, I think he's kind of in talks with now and stuff like that. Guys that were sort of veterans of WRC, we started to mix it a bit, but yeah, it was a fantastic experience, brilliant experience, to be honest. Yeah, full of enjoyment. Keith had, and yeah.
I rallying over stages that you'd seen on, your heroes on TV, every year kind of thing. Yeah. So following their wheel tracks as such. Yeah. So then for 2018, as always, you always come up with something that wee bit different. You decided to go and go JWRC. Oh, sorry, we should mention you become Billy Coleman Award winner at the end of 2017. Like, that was a big thing for your career then too at that stage.
Yeah, it was a big thing for us. I think it was kind of always since I was young. I remember always watching Breen and Fishers and stuff all go to WRC, and you watch the WRC, and I always remember saying to Dad, if we ever do something, maybe won the tarmac or won the British, and continue make that step continuous,
Right.
I'd love to maybe try WRC. And I think he kind of says at that end of that year, was like, okay, that's what we're going to do. We might not be ready for it, but that's what we're going to do. And that was a brilliant experience. It was definitely an eye opener for everything, for making notes to even just managing yourself for time over the whole weekend. It was the whole package was a great experience, and we really enjoyed it actually. We had some bad luck, but we had some good times too as well.
Yeah. And it helped you develop as a driver too. You had your share of good luck and bad luck and all that, but it brought you on an awful lot as a driver too, I would say.
Yeah, brilliant. It was like, we never did stages like 30 or 40k, some of the stages. And yeah, to make notes consistently like that was brilliant. All the time making notes, and yeah, tire management was then becoming a thing that you had to watch.
Okay.
And setup, and yeah, it was always changing, and you're racing always quick guys from every championship. I think we were racing Ken Torn and Mel Blomqvist and Jennifer, all very fast guys and their own right. So yeah, brought us on as a driver.
And your fitness levels always had to go up a level and all too to compete there as well too. So like the likes of like Sweden, your first time probably even driving competitively on snow. Enough learning to do without, and then having to go and compete in snow, like it's crazy, So, and probably then even going on to like Portugal on gravel, you'd probably only done 4 or 5 gravel events before that as well.
Yeah, Kildare and Kildare Forest and Scottish and a bit of the Lucky Grist, really, was it? GB obviously, but
Yes.
there wasn't much. And yeah, we went to Portugal. It was all the stages up around that Fairfield were unbelievable. Definitely fantastic rally, and we were going so well actually. Funny enough, when we managed to find ourselves second in the JWRC, that was probably to date probably the biggest heartbreak in my rally. I think it was. I remember that, but we were shaking quite comfortably a couple of stages from the end, and I think it was a new pass of the stage, and we just got caught out in the loose gravel rather than the ruts, and had a bank and popped the drive shaft, just the wheel in the drive shaft, and I was thinking, oh, I was gutted.
Yes.
That was probably to this day probably the worst feeling I remember ever having, because I think everybody's watching back home too as well.
I know, we all thought you were going to do it. This was going to be
just has to get to the end, but yeah, it probably just shows you in the end that then things can happen, and you just
it's not over till it's over.
It's not over till it's over, isn't it? I suppose. But that was a great event too.
Yeah, but even at the end of the year, it was you mentioned your misfortune, though. You still come away with 4th overall in the championship. Like that's you probably don't give yourself enough credit that was fantastic for your first time at that level.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I probably don't give myself enough credit because a lot of the guys were obviously on their second year, maybe doing the championship, or maybe the third, the Radstrom and stuff. They were doing it, so they had the experience of it all. And yeah, we kind of let ourselves out the deep end, and we never really had any testing before an event, which a lot of guys were doing. So yeah, it was. Yeah, we're learning on the event and everything, taking on the real thing at once. But yeah, it was good. I think when we got to Turkey, we set a couple of fastest stage times, and they counted as points as well and stuff.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, it was. We learned plenty, and the speed was definitely there. It's just a bit of misfortune, and yeah, but 4th was a brilliant result, to be honest. Given the way things happened,
Yeah, and then we shouldn't forget then again Donegal that year. You come back in the Fiesta R5, and like probably one of the best Donegal entries up to that point for a long time. I think it was 20 or 25 R5s, and you were in it right from the start, mixing it with the Moffats, Rob Duggan, Alistair Fisher, guys that, well, maybe not Rob Duggan, but them other guys had been driving R5s for the last 2 or 3 years, and to step in and compete with them boys, fair good going now, first time out.
Yeah, that was Donegal was good. Obviously, we loved Donegal. We always loved Donegal. We didn't want to be missing it. So, yeah, it was good to be racing there for the first time in an R5, and it was good. It was a good battles throughout the weekend, and yeah, it was definitely a learning weekend too. First time driving the speed and making the notes and tarmac and stuff was definitely a challenging weekend. But yeah, it was good to come away and get the experience of it all.
Yes. And so, Josh, at this stage, then, back to 2017, you were taking a step away from your junior 1,000 days into the junior British Rallycross, or the junior British Rally Championship. Sorry, and it was a C2 R2, probably not the most up to date car, but maybe a good car to learn the rallies and learn the stages without putting that suppose pressure on yourself that you had to be competitive in every rally. Or was that the rationale behind that? Or?
Yeah, so at the end of 2016, obviously we were 17 and we're the age to go rallying, proper rallying. So yeah, we looked at the options, and R2 was probably the best route, but obviously budget was a bit of an issue then, and you're trying to weigh things up. And yeah, the C2 was a cost-effective way to get into the R2 class and go and experience them rallies. So yeah, we got the C2 in January at the start of 2017, and I think the first rally we done was the Border Counties, so it was straight into the BRC, straight into the deep end and on gravel. So yeah, we learned a lot that year. We had a lot of mechanical issues as well. So I think in the Pirelli we were 4th in the juniors, and it was quite good for experiencing in the car we were in. So it was good to learn. Obviously, it was a tricky car to drive, and yeah, you have to go experience these things and see how you get on.
Yeah, and you had obviously never driven competitively on gravel up to this point either. So this was there was no bedding yourself in. It was straight in at the deep end, as you say there too. So
Yeah, it was a baptism of fire, straight into the deep end. But no, you have to go and do this, and that's the better way to learn.
Yes, and that's sort of then whetted your appetite. So you went back then in 2018, kind of similar to what Callum done. You hired an R2 for the second year. Was Belgium again seemed to be suit you as well. Second overall that year, brilliant result there.
Yeah, we were second in the junior BRC. We actually had a lot of issues in that rally.
Right.
The car kept on cutting out, so no, it was good to get to the end of that. It was quite a relief. I think in the last stage we actually broke the gear stick, so we had to do the last stage in third gear. I remember Aaron Johnson. So it was a good crack now.
Yes.
But no, it was good to get that result and obviously boost our confidence to say we could actually get a podium and get there. I moved on to the Ulster Rally, and I think everything just clicked from the second loop in the Friday. I think it was over Glendon. We took a chunk of time off for Auckland, and we just started going from there.
I just really seemed to everything just seemed to happen. That you just seemed to hit the zone for that from, as you say, after the third or fourth stage on the Friday. It just seemed to click, and it just flowed naturally then, really.
I think the tyre choice was a bit ambitious in the morning of that rally, so we struggled through the first loop. I think we came to the end of the first loop when we were 30 seconds off the leaders, so it was a big task to try climb it back. But then going into the last loop in the Saturday of the rally, we were 0.4, I think, off Steve Rockland, which was he's a top class driver. He's been to the European Championship and experienced it all before. So unfortunately, in listening up, we got a puncture over a bridge, and we were 17 seconds down into the last stage, and I think like Callum says, a bit of red mist came over, and we went for a push, but it didn't last that long. We ended up on a wall. Over risky.
That can happen. It's not an advisable thing to be for a youngster. It never happens, or it doesn't happen. But,
yes, when it goes well, you're a hero, but nobody wants to talk about it.
You're a hero.
But then later that year, then you sampled 4-wheel drive for the first time. Then you hired a Group N N12B for the Tyrone stages. Nice opportunity for you around there too.
Yeah, it was actually through my cousin Conor McCluskey that I came about. It was something else, something I never experienced before, and I think we went to Hadou the night before the rally, and it was the first time we drove it. 4-wheel drive was obviously a weird sensation coming from front-wheel drive. But that was a good rally. I think we won Group N in that rally. We actually picked some fast boys there, and we were 6th overall. So it was good to go experience it and obviously get the feeling for 4-wheel drive. But I think we hadn't mastered front-wheel drive yet then, and we had to go back and back to the BRC the following year and see what we could do.
So we'll go back to Callum then now for a few minutes. Then we'll go back to your BRC story then later, Josh. 2019. I suppose everybody thought you might go back to the Junior World Rally Championship, but you decided then you were kind of undecided what you were going to do. But you come to West Cork in the R5, and I think you maybe just seem to enjoy it so much. You decided to do the Irish Turnpike Championship rallies instead then?
Yeah, that was I think after the WRC, so it was the JWRC, we kind of was up and down season, to be fair. Very challenging, we put a lot of effort in, and it was we went back next year, and we actually really had no plans to do any rallying. We kind of didn't know what we were going to do. I think it was I remember watching Galway, and obviously like Sabrina and with my dad, we were watching the times, and we kind of looking. I can't remember trying to talk him around it. I said, well, we went to do all these events, and he was like, no, that was JWRC was a bit sore. So I could understand it, but once after watching Galway, and then we seen entries coming on for West Cork, it was absolutely savage. So we got him talked around and let him get out in R5 again. Hey, and yeah, that was probably the best season. I think it kind of spiraled on since then. You know, first time around that final and all that. It was yeah, brilliant season. Great racing throughout that season with the gigs Alistair and Craig, like 2 top class R5 men, and Moffats as well.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't get much better than that.
I like in West Cork you had Matt Edwards and you know, so like it was what 30 something R5s in West Cork, and like right from the first stage you were mixing it up there, 5th or 6th I think, and kind of you know, brilliant performance again by yourself then too. I'm sure you were. Again, probably knowing you were probably beating yourself up that you thought you should be closer to the front.
Well, I think in fairness, at the end of the first stage, it was so wet, it was torrential rain, and I was got to end it. And I remember Kelly Duffy had the music. I can't think, well, you shouldn't be up this far. Thinking, you know, but I think that maybe it settled the whole thing down again. We kind of dropped back a bit, but yeah, once we got the hang of things again, we started the race. And it was probably when I thought about it, I think we were kind of racing with Sam near the end of the weekend, Sam Moffat, and I think but I went back after it. I was like, geez, that's, you're watching these guys for a long time, you know, I sort of idolizing them, trying what they were doing, you know, what to do it, and the year just kind of continued on, and I didn't think the end of the year with racing like Fisher and Craig and stuff was
you know, Moll's Gap, like in Killarney, we just think that, like one instance there, like to come away with fastest time up that, the one that everybody wanted, that the one that everybody would push as hard as they possibly could. You beat Breen, you beat Fisher, you beat the Moffats, you beat them all, you know, like, and twice you beat them both up the stage, didn't you? It was fastest both times.
Twice I beat them. I think that was funny. Yeah, that was a really good good rally. So it was probably a turning point where our speed really excelled again. But yeah, I think it was actually funny enough. The first day, Craig took a wild chunk of time and moved 15 seconds or 12 seconds out of us. And the next day, I remember it was second pass. I remember going over our notes and saying, they're not right, you need to speed them up a bit or something. But yeah, it worked out well. It worked out well the next 2 stages, the next days, and it was quicker. And yeah, it was a brilliant rally. Great to get up with. Great thrill as well.
And then, you know, you come away then with 3rd in the championship, I think, then at the finish up. And then, like, lastminute.com, once again, you put an entry in for the Donegal Harvest at the, you know, just within a day or 2 before the event, and come away with a 1. You know, there's sort of like something like the first rally you ever done was on very similar stages in that area, in the shown area, and you come back there to win that. It was almost rooting stars, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that was funny actually, because I remember I did the harvest one time for the car off on that. And I remember saying the stage, I was doing the stage again, and I says, I want to get this stage right this time. I remember the fastest every time on it, and I just made sure of it, you know, sort of thing. Yeah, I think even McGee kind of talked my dad around after Cork County. He says, why don't you let him go to the harvest? And, yeah, even McGee's a good fella, so he is.
Yes.
Yeah. We if he wanted us to do that, we tried to do it. So it worked out well for us. Definitely worked out well.
Yes, Eamon's got a great way of persuading people to do things without.
Yeah. I have great respect for him too. So it was just we kind of had to go ahead with.
Yes, and then this the Motorsport Ireland Ballycoleman thing got you the opportunity to go to Hungary at the end of 2019 as well, and the PCRS Hyundai i20. Like, what an opportunity! Like last round of the ERC, you know. It was just what a rally it turned out to be. It must have been bonkers looking, because we're trying to follow it online. It looked crazy, the weather conditions and everything else.
Yeah, that is crazy. It was even crazy this year, wasn't it? It was even crazy this year this year, or last year, sorry. And it was. Some of the stages, I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but we were going around them vineyard stages, and the water was you were aquaplaning down the stages, some of the places. But yeah, it was some experience, and I think that was probably evened it out a little bit for us, maybe for being first time there. The conditions were so treacherous; it was just really more managing it, and it kind of helped us for learning the car a wee bit, you know. We were just kind of learning the conditions and trying to get through them the best we could, you know. But yeah, we came away with 3rd for a podium in the ERC, probably much more than anybody expected. And it was, Brilliant, brilliant.
You were getting punctures like wasn't there one stage you had 2 punctures or something? You come out of to come from that to finish third. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, we had 3 punchers throughout the weekend and stuff. Everybody had their fair share of punchers, and lucky enough, everybody else didn't have their punchers got a couple on the last stage. But that stage, I still had to go through it with 3 punchers and stuff. But it was pretty the conditions for a tarmac rally. You'd probably agree on this. It's questionable at times, But for a driver, if we weren't getting punchers, we'd be happy enough. It would be nice. It's nice, but when you get a punch, it's not so nice. But yeah, it was the last stage and stuff. I think we had a really good push. It was fog. It was that much fog we couldn't see out the window. We had to turn off the lights. Turn off the lights because it was
the glare
dazing you. And then it was the fog, the rain, and yeah, it was. We had a good time the last stage.
Yeah, because you went into it 5th and come out 3rd. It was unbelievable.
Third, I think we were. It was I don't know, what was it? 30 kilometers maybe. Split in half this year it was, but it was a big long stage. And it was 24 minutes or something, maybe like that to get through it. But yeah, I think we won about like a minute or something. It was pretty crazy. But it wouldn't have happened where the conditions were that bad. Like it was
yes.
Yeah. But that was good.
And then 2020 all set for maximum type in the European Rally Championship, and then coronavirus decided that wasn't going to happen. It was a bit of a letdown. Everybody's season got called to an end very quickly. But it was you got going again then probably about August time.
Rome.
Rome was the first one then too, and it just the first few events back, it just didn't seem to click for you at all. You just seemed to have different issues and problems and.
Yeah, like I say, we obviously when we moved from the Fiesta, it was all into the Hyundai now, and obviously testing and stuff probably was a bit limited due to the COVID. Obviously, it was kind of put it back in everybody's line. It was we were lucky to get the events and stuff, but it was a fantastic opportunity. But yeah, Rome kicked off just pure bad luck. Punctured the sump on a rock, just in a cup, and that was it over for us in Rome. We had an engine. Actually started quite well, I thought. We were in the top 7, I think, racing there. And yeah, that didn't go so well, and that kind of went on into the next rally as well. We kind of had a bit of bad luck, but yeah, it didn't go so well. It was a sluggish start. A few bad lucks, and obviously. I went to Latvia, probably to the biggest, biggest crash ever to date. I still call it one of my main crashes, the first real crash. So, yeah, that probably took the confidence back a little bit too as well, and yeah, sort of a different frame of mind. Then halfway through the season, it was rebuild the confidence, and get results onto the table for everybody. For Hyundai and for the Motorsport Rally Academy and the guys who support that, it was to get some results.
Yeah, so Portugal then was, as you say, was the first rally back, and like as you say, you were probably holding yourself back a wee bit. To still come away then with a strong result, it must have helped to build the confidence again pretty quickly.
Yeah, as I say, Portugal was the starting point, and when we navigator James Fulton, he jumped on board then, and. Yeah, it was just everything was a new building everything up, build the confidence up in Jane, building up myself, and we did a fantastic job on ourselves, and just it was nice. It was a bit different than what we usually be flat out, but we built it up, and the season ended well, I think. And then we went to the Grand Canaries, and we managed to get a podium in the juniors with Oliver Solberg and Adrian Fomax, 2 top class drivers. So
yes. And you were battling times with Craig Breen and Andreas Mikkelsen over the weekend as well too. So yeah.
I remember looking at that one time on my posts. I think it was Craig was something like 4 or 5 seconds behind. Mikkelsen was now only 1 or 2 seconds in front, and everything. Easily mad to be watching this, and mad to be watching it. But yeah, it kind of showed the pace, and even on the ERC alone, like we were like 5th and 6th and number 7th and stuff, and the pace right down through it was absolutely savage. So many quick drivers, and right down through the field, right down in the top 20, great drivers and stuff. So yeah, no, that was a brilliant way to end the season. Yeah.
Like, you had drivers then that was, weren't getting the chance maybe to, compete in WRC events. We're stepping back to the ERC as well too. So as you say, like there was it was a far stronger field than probably it has been in the ERC for years, really.
Yeah, but definitely that's exactly right. A lot of WRC events maybe a lot of guys didn't do or couldn't get to, and the ERC was still going quite strong, and they were running events, and yeah, it was good to see so many guys, and it brought everybody's speed up. It was brilliant. Definitely did. Brilliant.
And Josh, we'll skip back to you again then. You said there was unfinished business in the British Rally Championship. So you decided to go back to a home-based team again, your own guys building the car again, and a Peugeot 208 R2. What was the thinking behind going family-based team?
Well, we ended 2018 with MH Motorsport, and there were some issues with mechanicals, and yeah, we decided to take it on board ourselves again. We bought a 208 out of actually off Melvin Evans, so it was a good car. We knew it had a good previous life, so it was good to get our own car back again and under our own team. We knew it was going on, and we knew what to trust. So yeah, we went to the Cambrian. I think our car in Surrey was actually the first rally in that car, and we had a steady enough from. I think we finished first in the junior class that day. But then we went on to the Cambrian. We struggled with punctures in places. I think we came down a bit in fourth.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of a slow start to that year. But then we got to the Pirelli, and it really kick-started it.
Yes.
And we got a win there. So it was good to get the confidence up, get into the tarmac again.
Yeah, and then as we mentioned there with Callum earlier, West Cork, fantastic entry, 30-something R5s, a really strong R2 field as well, and like you I don't know, dominate it would be maybe too strong a word, but you had a very strong weekend. You won the category, beating all the regular BRC and tarmac guys. Fantastic result for yourself. That must give you good confidence.
Yeah, it was definitely a good result. There's obviously a lot of quick boys there. William and Jordan Hohen and James Williams and the like. So it was good to get the confidence after that rally. We knew we could do it in gravel and tarmac. So it was it was I was the first rally with Keaton Williams as well. So there was a lot of learning to do at the start of it. But yeah, we gradually built ourselves into it and came away with a win. So it was really rally by rally that year and taking it from there. So I think the next event was April, and unfortunately the wheel stud sheared in the first day, and yeah, it was one of them points where you said, do we continue on with this rally or stop? But it was probably a godsend we did continue on, because we managed to get some points out of it, and it was
everybody else seemed to have troubles in the second day and just come away. I think you still end up, like, was it fourth or something, or fifth, I can't remember, but you still picked up strong points after all your dramas in the first day, so that was definitely
never give up. So no, it was just it was quite warm in April that year as well, so it was a matter of just getting through it and keep plugging away. But yeah, we got to the end of it, and as I say, it was setting the plate for the Ulster.
And what a fantastic rally for you then, on it from the very first stage. As probably as dominant as a performance you'd see in an R2 car, because the cars are so evenly matched. It's not easy to be, to be fastest in every stage, because there's going to be some stages suit your style, or you're going to have the right tires, the wrong tires, whatever. But you just seem to click right from the get-go on the Ulster that year, didn't you?
Yeah, well, actually, the shakedown the night before the rally, we noticed this noise in the gearbox, and they stripped the gearbox, and I don't think they were finished to 1 o'clock that night. I didn't actually know if I was going to get to do the rally. I remember getting a text message at 1 o'clock saying all's good. So it was just a matter of getting up the next morning and going for it. So yeah, I think it was one of them rallies we had to put everything on the line and just push. From stage one, it seemed to click, and yeah, it was was a good experience to
at
our home rallies and get the win in the championship.
I won in the championship, was like brilliant. And then you look at the overall result. Overall in the British Championship, you come away with third in an R2 car. it's phenomenal, isn't it? You know. So
yeah, it doesn't look too well in the championship, but I think it was a matter of consistency more than pace. So
to get to get them points, you need to be at the finish of events, don't you? You know. So
yep, definitely.
Yeah. So this then give you the opportunity then to get an entry into Rally GB with the Hyundai team. This must have been brilliant for a young guy like yourself. What year? At that age, you're what, 20, 19, 20?
Like 20, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think they were trying to get the price sorted for the junior BRC the whole year, and I remember before the Ulster it was really announced that the winner would do a round of the World Championship in a Hyundai. So I think coming to the end of the Ulster, it was a matter of realization that this was actually maybe going to happen. So yeah, like again, we went to, I think it was France we went to. We got the opportunity to go test the car. I think we got 50 kilometers, and that was with the works team on an official test. So it was an amazing experience. As a young boy going out to Europe and testing a works car was something else. So we started GB. It was probably into the deep end with the WRC regulars and a R5 first time in gravel in a 4-wheel drive car, and I think we managed it okay. I think we beat Jan Kopecky in a stage and Solberg, I think, over in Magna, was it? But yeah, it didn't last long. We had a mechanical issue and a bit out from there.
Yeah, but it sowed the seed then that you wanted to do this more. And again, Ballycoleman Award nomination in the middle of the year and coming away with the overall award then at the end of the year. You know, that's obviously just changed the whole direction of where your plans was going to go then for the following year.
I assume Rally GB kickstarted our relationship with Hyundai. On the back of GB, we didn't get full mileage of the rally, and it was decided that we actually went over to the factory and chatted to Andrew Johns, and it was decided that we would go to Monza Rally Show and experience that. It was something else. It was against these Italians and crazy around Monza, which is probably quite a specialized event for a track. But yeah, the Billy Coleman, I think we came home from Monza on the Sunday, and the Billy Coleman Award was on the Tuesday, so it was a very good week, to be honest.
Yeah, because we should look at Monza, like to come over there and competing with them guys that's doing it, like it's such a specialized event. There's people who've been doing it for the last 10, 15 years. To be going there and setting top 15 times in a car that you'd only done a few kilometers in, and probably a setup you'd never used before, and a team you'd never met before as well too. So it was an Italian team that you were trying to communicate what you wanted with the car as well.
They spoke no English. It was through, there was actually a Hyundai engineer there, which was good for the translating side. But that was a great experience. Not many know that in the Wednesday test before that rally, we didn't get 200 meters down the road until we had the Hyundai on a wall. So it was a very edgy start to the week. Not many people know that, but everyone knows.
There
was a blue bonnet in that car for the whole rally, and people it wasn't really questioned. It was just a bit.
Yeah.
But now you know.
Too late. I'll record it. But yeah, so to come back home then from that, to go to the Ballycoleman Awards in Dublin, to be announced the winner, it must have been a dream come true for you.
Yeah, it was the game changer, I'd say. To win the Ballycoleman Award and get all the support from the Motorsport and Rally Academy was something else. To be in around these people and to get their knowledge and experience, it was a game changer.
Yeah, so the plan was then for 2020 was back to the British Rally Championship and the A20, the R5 car. Again, same as Callum, COVID had all our ideas. You go into the first round and you were doing okay. You were, what, third or fourth, weren't you? It was for your first time out in the car and all, things were looking promising. But just then, as COVID come along, you were due to go to West Cork. Probably it was already started the recce at that stage, had you, when the rally was called off?
Yeah, we had started the recce, and halfway through the recce, there's word that the rally might not go ahead. I remember sitting in the shop in the middle of Clonakilty, and there was a lot of question marks over it, but unfortunately it was cancelled. And yeah, it wasn't until August that we were back out in Rally de Elba. And actually the car Callum done Roman, so it was that was a good experience. Obviously it was a unique event going into Europe, and again going to Italy on the roads. We just had to get experience from there on in. It was a matter of building their confidence back up and on the R5. And yeah, I think the whole of 2020 was to get to finish the rallies and get the experience and mileage. So yeah,
and even Rally de Elba, you were competing, with Josh Moffat, who had been over there for the first time as well. So it was a good benchmark to set to see where you're at, because it wasn't fair comparing you to the locals who were doing that rally year in year out as well. So to be competing and setting times equal and beating Josh, it showed you were at a good pace as well.
Yeah, I suppose it was a good benchmark from someone back home. It was good to relate results to. But yeah, I think it was a matter of getting experience and getting to the finish. But it was, from a lot of people, there's a lot of people involved, and you have to go with what the team says.
Yeah, because there was no point pushing for good times and, as you say, going off somewhere. It was more important for you to get seat time and get to the finish of events and get maximize what was being provided for you as much as possible, I suppose. You got you were 2 rounds in at the ERC, Hungary, and the Canaries in as well. 2 good events for you as well. You happy enough with how they went for you?
Yeah, they're very big entries for the ERC. Obviously, there wasn't many rallies happening at that point, and a lot of people was going there and a lot of quick guys. It was Hungary was a great event for us. It was a unique challenge, as Callum was saying earlier. There was maybe more gravel on the stages than tarmac, but no, it was good to get to the finish of that, and we were battling with the Hungarian champion going into the last stage. But again, we were on the lead, and we had to get the finish. So that was good. Obviously Canaries didn't really go to plan. We struggled a lot with car setup and tire choices. So it was a good experience. Obviously, there's bad days and good days, and you have to take them.
Yeah, because Canaries did seem to be weird. Like, one stage could have been bone dry, the next could have been water running down the middle of it. It must have been horrendous trying to pick tires for that, and probably every time you went around a different corner, the condition could just change completely.
Yeah, it wasn't that good for the confidence as such when you're trying to build it in a new car. But yeah, we had to just get around it and get to the finish. Some stages we set good times, and some we didn't. We got punctures as well. So no, I think year ended well going to WRC event in Monza after the Andy Motorsport. So it was definitely some experience.
Yeah, and but at the come around to the WRC, so obviously the stages and all had changed from the previous year. So even your being there the previous year would have been some benefit, but not a huge benefit really. So to be setting the times, your top 5 WRC 3 times, a lot of the time over the weekend. So it shows the potentials there.
Yeah, well, people probably thought it was a track-based event, but there's actually more stages or more roads within the track than the actual track.
Okay.
And the Saturday was on the roads of the region around Monza. Yeah, it was good to get into the zone and get. I think we were top 3 times in some of the stages. So you're fighting WRC regulars and being up there. Obviously we were with the Red Grey team, which is the works satellite team as such for Hyundai. To get experience off them and see how things work is quite beneficial for moving into this year even. So no, it was good to end the year on a high note, and it gives us good confidence heading into 2021.
Yeah. So for 2021, COVID hasn't gone away, but things are looking a bit more promising for the both of you. As I speak to you now, you are sitting, living the life out in Laguna Beach. So you are taking part in the Olympus Rally, John Coyne, the Billy Coleman Award, Motorsport Ireland initiative. Fantastic opportunity for the both of you.
Yeah, it's a brilliant opportunity. Also, no rallying going on. It's for rallies and 10-hour seasons back home and stuff. To go out here and do some rallies out here is it's an opportunity of a lifetime, isn't it? And me and Josh, we both grabbed it with both hands, and thanks to John Coyne and the Motorsport Rally Academy for making it happen. We're really looking forward to it, and we're loving the experience so far.
And have you any idea of what the stages is going to be like yet? Have you seen any of the Ricky DVDs or anything at this stage? Or?
Would you say like GB a bit in places?
Yeah, they're probably like GB in places a bit on a dry day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're very fast and very committed. So I think you have to be on the ball from the word go and get into a good rhythm.
Yeah. Stages look awesome too. Big long stages and stuff, and they have it all sort of thing. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a new experience, and definitely we hope it all goes well for both of us.
It's going to be one of them opportunities. Just that you have to just grab it with both hands and try and make the best
of
it. So.
Yeah. Living the dream.
Living the
dream. So, what's your hopes ahead of the event?
It's going to be a new experience. Obviously, it's good to have each other here in comparison to times and see where we're at. But it's hard to know where you're going to be at with these open class cars and the big cars and such. So I think if we go and enjoy it and see where we are at the end of the first day and build upon it. But I think the most important thing is to use it as a big test and enjoy the experience.
And Callum, same question to yourself. What's your
same question? It's to get some seat time and get some mileage in car, obviously, because there's no events happening back home to do. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we need. Seat time and more confidence, obviously, because we're going to afford this time, So it's get the experience, get the seat time, see where we are.
And you just mentioned you're back in the Ford. You've recently announced there that you have a new Fiesta R5 for your own program this year. Is it good to be back in the Fiesta again?
Yeah, it's good to be back. We had a test in the car there not long ago, and it feels quite comfortable. The cars, I like that about the Fiesta. It had a good feel about it. It's nice to be back. And there's not much difference really, to be honest, on all R5 cars. They're all quite evenly matched. They just have some driver preference that they like and some bits and pieces. Pros and cons, as they say, probably. But we're happy to be back in it, and hopefully it's a good move this year. So.
Yeah. And I would say, you just want to get out and go rallying, I suppose, now at this stage.
I just want to go faster. I just want to go faster. I just want to drive flat out. That's what I want to be doing. So no, hopefully be soon enough. We'll be getting at it. And, as I say, we're going to Ford this weekend, so it'll be quite similar. So we're looking forward to it. But it has to be. We're looking forward to it.
Excellent. And Josh, you were announced then as a part of the Hyundai Junior Driver Program for 2021. This is a great opportunity for you too. It's going to be exciting for you the year ahead.
To be announced as a Hyundai Junior driver is something else. Like Boulder Solberg, Louis Loubet, they're big names and you're in the squad with them. So it's it's a good opportunity, and now we have to maximize it. We have to start pushing on and getting results. So I think 2021 is about that, and continuing to progress up the ladder.
Yeah, and what's your hopes for this year? Have you set yourself any targets, or I suppose it's not knowing what events is going to happen, what So I suppose it's not easy to say I would love to do this or I'd love to do that. Just with COVID, it's making things more difficult.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to know what you're going to be doing. But I think we need to start showing that good results and being fast. So as I say, we were on a bit of a lead last year and we had to get to the end of rallies, but now we can really go for it and see what we can do. So but yeah, we have to obviously be smart about the thing and not go complete ram dash at it. But no, it's good to get that bit of freedom.
Excellent. And with Hyundai coming out with the new i20 Rally 2 car later in the season, that must be an exciting prospect. Have you drove it yet, or is that in the pipeline to get a run in it?
No, we haven't drove it yet. I think it's in the pipeline. Obviously, both cases will be getting a car, so we hope to be in Rally de Roma in July in the car, but obviously a lot can change from now to then.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, from what we're hearing, it's a good car and a good base. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to experiencing that.
Yeah, because I think the videos coming out there from Oliver Solberg and Craig Breen testing it looks very impressive so far, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, it's definitely a awesome car, and chatting to these boys, it seems to be there and thereabouts. So I think Hyundai's put a lot of development into it, and it shows it from the testing they're doing. So yeah, it's promising going forward.
Yeah, and you know, like you just mentioned there, like Craig Breen being at that, the world stage is going to be a huge help for the both of you. Like I know you've mentioned there, you've always been talking to him about the new car, and Callum, you were very friendly with Craig doing the Tarmac Championship. Like it's great to have somebody like Craig for you guys to aspire that you raced him last in 2019 in the Tarmac Championship. Know that you're at that level, like you were capable of making that next step up as well.
Yeah, I think Craig is of one driver. He's the most experienced in our 5 cars about. He's the nature of them all. But yeah, to be racing him back home was fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, even in Grand Canaries we were racing him on some ERC rounds. But he's very helpful. It's like give us feedback and stuff, which is good, and we can bounce things off him. And yeah, that's what you need too. It's nice to compare some things to him, and yeah, advice you get too from drivers. But he's done it all, I suppose, at this stage, So yeah, it's great to have him out,
And Josh, for the same for yourself, I suppose it's good maybe to be able to pick up the phone to the likes of him, and something that you're not sure about or something that you want to thrash out. He can, he knows what you're talking about. He knows how to drive, so if you have some suggestion, he'll say you're going down the right road or you're going down the wrong track or whatever, what's that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's been there and experienced all. He's been in our position and he's got to the top, so it's good to look up to him and say that it can be done. But yeah, he's put in a lot of hard work over the years, and it's hopefully paying off now. Yeah, Croatia is a big rally for him, and hopefully all goes well.
Yeah. And like for yourselves, like this initiative now with Motorsport Ireland, the academy, like for all these other young guys coming up through, like to see you guys, they can aspire to, if they do well, that they can take that next step up, that they know that the backing's there. It's huge for Irish Rally, and it's, when you think of the 2 US guys at the top level, you have William Crichton now starting the Junior World Rally Championship. The stairway of opportunity is really developing so much now this last few years.
Yeah, it's really good, I think, and yeah, I have to big thanks to John Coyne and Sean McErlean and all the guys they put in a structure there now that it's made easier now for a youngster coming in from all track like ourselves and stuff. Step into the next tier, maybe there's Rally 5 and these all new classes and stuff, and come up through the ranks, and yeah, they'll give support for trying to progress the next driver in Ireland, which has speed, which is brilliant. And I think we've been quick drivers back home over the years. We just needed that bit of support and guidance throughout the classes. So yeah, they're doing it's fantastic. They're involved with too as well, which it's brilliant.
Like Josh, when you think about it, like 2015, you were starting your first season of rallying in the Junior 1000 car. Like in 2021, all being well, you will be starting rounds of the ERC. in a Hyundai i20, rally, R5 car. Like, it's phenomenal progress. When you think about it, in 6 years.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It shows you the work that the Motorsport Rally Academy does, and John Coyne. So the whole ladder opportunity is there, and people can see now that it's possible. And yeah, 2 years ago, if you had said to me that I'll be starting around the RC, I wouldn't have believed you. So yeah, if you put in the work, the opportunities are there, and if any young driver out there is planning on doing it, there's no better place to start in the juniors and work your way up. But it shows you, like us, that it can be done. So it's just a bit of hard work and effort, and you'll get there.
Yeah. And like, is it something that you still enjoy, jumping into a car and going as hard as possible at this stage? Like, it's still so enjoyable for you. Like, do you still get that buzz every time you step into a car?
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing it if that wasn't the case. So no, it's definitely something else, especially these R5 cars and on gravel. It's a real experience. So no, it's some feat to be at.
Yeah. And Callum, we've seen the test videos there from Sweetland. It looked phenomenal. You really seem to be clicking in with this new car.
Aye, first time really testing on gravel, really. So it's lovely to try such different things, but it was nice. It's nice to start flinging the car about, and that helps me just build a little bit more confidence and stuff. But yeah, plenty still to go. I'm not trying to build on, but brilliant to get some seat time in the car, and hopefully we can keep building on it.
Excellent. Well, lads, thank you very much now for taking the time to join us. Looking forward to hearing your plans for the year ahead now. So hopefully now we'll catch up with you later in the year, see how things are going, and I wish you all the best, and take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cam.
That was Josh McErlean, Callum Devine, and myself, Callum Devine, Token Rallying. I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and if you liked it, can you please like and share it on social media platforms? And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, if you could rate the podcast, it would be gratefully appreciated. Until next time, take care, speak soon, and bye.